What's up, guys? It's your favorite A1 from Day One, Judah Praise Portraits. I'm here today with you to show you guys a quick little graphic breakdown of this appreciation graphic that I made for my good brother Jeremy Henderson's campaign, right? So first things first, I started off with just a plain white background. This is how I started. I usually don't like to play on white unless it's necessary for what I'm trying to do. I knew I wanted a gradient because a gradient just adds a little bit more pizzazz to it. You know, it makes it seem a little bit more just, I don't know, wow, you know? But after I added the gradient, the first thing I needed to add was the pictures. Huge shout out to Huge shout out to Jameer Westbrook and then Lamine Kone. They really showed out this weekend, really helped me out. Made sure I was able to have a lot of really good photos to choose from. These photos are actually all taken by Jameer. So he, like I said, huge shout out to him and Lamine as well. Once I had the photos, I brought them into Photoshop. Photoshop is super intuitive now, right? So, sorry about that. So I just brought the photos in back when they were full photos, hit select subject, it selected the subject. I just had to adjust a little bit to make sure it had everything I wanted to be selected. And then once I did that, I went ahead and I made sure I was on the lasso tool, hit right click, layer via cut, and then it cut what I wanted to cut. Then I dragged it over to this canvas for me to work on. I did that for all three of my images that I chose. Next thing I did was I clicked down here and added a layer mask on each image. And the point of a layer mask is either to reveal something or to hide something, right? I mean, that's a mask, right? So once I did that, I went ahead and I hit Command I, which inverted the layer mask. And then I went over to my toolbar right here, hit the gradient tool. Once I hit the gradient tool, I made sure I had the layer mask selected. Once the layer mask was selected, I went and I dragged down on the layer mask to make sure it was exactly what I wanted it to be and looked exactly the way I wanted it to look. All right. After I did that, I made sure I did that for all three of the photos. And then I went ahead to my next step, which was going through the internet and finding the logos that I needed. This was pretty simple because all I really needed was the Alpha East logo, as well as the Henderson 64th Assistant Vice President logo that we've been using since he got elected. I went ahead, sized those up, put them in the corner, made them really nice, how I liked them. Then I went and I got went and made the titles that I wanted. For both of these titles, I used the Montserrat font family. For the larger title, I think I used Montserrat extra bold, and then for the lower text, I used Montserrat light. And for the graphic, I knew that I wanted it to be an appreciation post to the Eastern region of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So the text that I wanted to be there was very easy to figure out the wording and everything like that. I just went ahead and put thank you Alpha East, made it super big because that was the main text. I wanted it to be able to catch everyone's eye very quickly. And then the small little blurb at the bottom, shout out ChatGPT for hooking me up with that. That was, like I said, that was the font for that was Montserrat Light. And I just wanted something clean that kind of added on to the overall message and kind of like just like filled up space. To get this kind of like blocky effect, I went and double clicked the layer that said thank you Alpha East, went to the layer styles, blending options, and then bevel and emboss. And then I also selected contour, right, just to add a little extra. And then my settings for bevel and emboss sorry, was the style to be inner bevel, technique chisel hard, depth only 115%, direction up, size 111, and then no soften to it. And then the shading and everything else I kind of left the same all around the board. but that's how I got that effect. And I didn't really want that effect for the lower text. After I added the text, the main titles, I went ahead and I added the names and title positions of everyone on their team. So myself, Brother Lawrence Bancroft, and then obviously Jeremy C. Henderson, the 64th ERAVP elect. That was pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure I used, let me double check before I say that. But yeah, I also used Montserrat Light for the text here as well. Then I wanted to fill up this space right here in the top right corner, so I decided to add all the districts of Alpha East, International, Oneka, Nyakoa, NJPAC, PAC, MAC, and then Vacapath, the best district. I'm pretty sure I used a different font for this one. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. I used Montserrat Light for it as well. And I wanted it to stand out, and I knew that it probably wouldn't stand out as much if I kept the color the same as the gradient. It wouldn't pop out as much, so I made it white just so it'd be able to pop out a little bit more. And then I'm about done with everything. I really like how it looked already, but I wanted to add just a few more things, or just one more thing really. I just added the 7 stars to represent the 7 jewels of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. But yeah, that is how I created this graphic using Photoshop. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up, let me know. I'll do whatever I can to answer them. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all next time.